What's up, guys? Back at it, William and
Veronica, real estate team.
We're back at it. We have today a special guest, Tom Vargeletis. He's a real estate photographer. He's a rock star. He's doing big things, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself. So we're just going to dive in, and he's just going to let us know a little bit about him and take it away.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you for having me on your little show. It's always a pleasure to link up. For anyone who's just seeing me for the first time, which is probably everyone watching this video, right? My name's Tom Vargeletis. I'm a real estate photographer. I own and run a real estate photography business out here in Massachusetts and other parts of New England. What we do, we've been doing this for a long time. So we're going to talk about real estate photography and just to kind of show you guys that I'm not just some guy. I'm just going to show you some of a little bit of my work, and we can get more into the weeds if we want to in a minute, but I'm just going to share my screen right now.
Awesome.
And Tom, you got a couple of books out there too, right? We could talk
Sure. I do. I published a few books, but specifically about real estate photography, I did write a book on real estate photography. I also host the real estate photography podcast called The Full-Time Real Estate Photographer. So we don't just take photos of real estate. I'm also coaching, training, and teaching other real estate photographers how they can do better work, right? I've been doing this for a while. I'd like to say I'm competent at it. I'm not going to be the world's greatest expert at real estate photography, but we do some pretty good work, and our clients keep calling us back. So, as you can see, this is just on my website, some,
And we were
examples
just,
of real estate listings
before
that
we
we
jumped
shot over the years.
we were just telling Tom, he just took pictures of a couple of our properties, and pictures came out amazing, with everything taken in consideration, everything that is going on. It was very professional and an amazing product. So we're very happy with what he's given us. So if you want, you can jump into what you were just showing us right now and talk a little bit about what you do in terms of, I saw some of one of the big pictures there with the, what is it called? The dusk background?
Twilight? Oh, yes.
Twilight, which we love. So talk to us, show us a little bit more about that.
I'll show you a little bit more. Let's take a look at our portfolio. So we've shot everything from $30,000 mobile homes to $10 million equestrian estates, and everything in between. So just to give you guys a quick spattering of different. So this photo I like to use as an example, because you see clearly off of the porch, and then you can see onto the deck here that you can see like really clear details to everything. So when we do real estate photography, normally, think about like when you have your phone out and you're taking pictures of your kids, your dog, or whatever you take pictures of, and then like the view through the window or off the porch is bright, blinding white, and then in the corners and the around the edges of the darker areas, it's like so dark you can't see any details. Right. The way that we shoot is the style of photography that we use is we're compositing images together, and we do a lot of what's called light painting. When you think about traditional, if you're a photographer and you hear me say light painting, you're like, that doesn't look like light paint. We composite light, different images where we isolate areas and add light, like behind the chairs, on the box in the front center here.
Amazing.
And we stack them together and edit them together to create a final image like this, because you can't wait until the perfect time of day to shoot photography. So you have to control the light as much as you can. We also do this neat little thing. Can I zoom in? Yeah, I can. Where this is not a real fire that you're looking at. We do fireplace, and you can kind of tell if you look at it. You're like, what the hell is that? But when you're just looking at it, it's a picture of real fire that we like to throw in there.
It's almost like lifestyle. It makes you want to be in there. Like the previous picture that you just showed, it's like, I want to be sitting on that porch and looking at the water.
Yes.
It's like,
yes, exactly. It makes it look a lot more interesting and inviting, which is the whole point of real estate photography.
Right.
I started this business actually when I was a real estate agent, and as an agent, when I'm marketing my listings, and you guys know the same the same thing is true, is that you want the house to look as inviting and welcoming as possible. You want it to look like a house that I want to live in. And you get there by adding these little details. What was this? I think the house was a flip or something. This is another older home, another flip. We also do commercial. We don't need to talk too much about that right now, but for commercial property, different pricing model and different use case. So it's, there's paperwork involved and stuff, but we do it, restaurants and
like
bars.
Restaurants, okay.
Yeah, using your website, or if you're selling, or if you're leasing the space, trying to get another restaurant into your commercial building, we'll do shoots like that all the time.
Awesome. Awesome. You could tell
luxury. Here's the Twilight. Here we go.
I love that.
Wow.
So this house was really, what am I doing? This is a really special case because this was a renovated house, a single family in Somerville. This is the back of the house, the backyard. It has about 10 or 15 feet of lawn coming out straight towards the camera. And right where it's cut off, there's maybe a couple pixels. You can kind of see the edge of a rock wall, almost barely. And then the wall drops like 6 feet, and then a hill goes down. So I actually had to hire an assistant to stand on the top of a ladder and hold the camera while I was running around with my flash to get these photos.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, I mean, but this is your hero shot of the first photo on MLS. Like, this is what gets buyers to say, "Whoa, what the?"
I love that. The hero shot.
Yeah.
And that's
There's another Twilight.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, that's eye catching. So you got a couple books out there. You're coaching photographers at this point. You're paying attention to the details. You have a view of what a real estate agent, the experience of a real estate agent, and that obviously helps you with your shoots. How many people do you have on your team?
It's a pretty lean team. So I have my admin, my editor. I have a couple part-timers as far as like editing services goes on the side when we get really busy. But for boots on the ground, it's myself, my full-time photographer, and a couple part-timers I'll call as needed. We created a system where we can work really efficiently and quickly with a small number of people because we have a bureaucratic division of labor. We have people that focus on one thing and they do that one thing really well. And once I do my job, I pass it on to the next person, the assembly line. So me and my photographer, we can go out and we'll do, 5 or 7, sometimes 10 shoots a day. And then we send them all to our editor. My editor works overseas. So we download, you guys get your photos this morning, right? We did our photo shoot last night. We did our photo shoot like 4, we didn't leave until like 5 o'clock last night. Two properties, that's right. And you got them this morning and you're like, wow, this is great. The photos are great. The editor works overnight. He gets a full 8 or 10 hours a night overnight for us. So the next morning, all our photos are ready to go. My admin puts everything together, sends out the emails, manages invoices, basic customer service questions. So we've created this machine that we can just take photo shoot appointments and spit out photos like rapid fire. It's
it reminds
and it's not a lot of people, so it's a good system.
It's a good system that you have going on. It reminds me of the McDonald's movie where they have a system in place where all they do is one job and it gets them to the finish line. An amazing
that's key if you want to scale any business. Really, you have to systematize as much as you can, make your business processes easily trainable. You need to create a system of accountability so people can be making sure that their jobs are getting done the way that they're supposed to be getting done. And we don't have to get into the technology side or how, the nuts and bolts of how it works, but the end result is a super convenient process for real estate agents specifically to go through. It's for you guys to make it as easy as possible to book your photo shoots and get your photos, sell the house, and then move on to the next one without having to worry about coordinating stuff or what's going to happen.
Right. The power of leverage. We love that. We appreciate the great service. Our clients were surprised that they came over so quick.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they kind of, most people's experience with professional photography, if they don't have someone in their family or a friend that they know, is usually like a wedding photographer, an event photographer or something like that.
Right.
And turnaround time for a wedding photo shoot is like a week or more or something like that. So yeah, people are, sometimes they can't process it. Like, wait, you're shooting this now and then tomorrow morning I'm going to see everything. Like, well, what are you doing? What do you do? Yeah, they're like, well, so if it's so easy, I could do it.
Right, right.
Well, I think
So
now we're going to get into COVID-19, right? Some
yeah,
questions about.
there's another
Yeah, so I've
question,
actually
right?
got something to show you guys for that too, if you wanted to get into it.
So Tom, obviously with everything that is going on, and
Mhm.
I'm sure you're noticing in your business how this is affecting you and your team. How are you handling taking photo shoots these days with your cell
Mhm.
phones or your agents?
Yeah, so there's definitely been some changes around here. We have had some cancellations, some reschedules because people are concerned about exposure to COVID-19, and we totally respect that. We're waiving all cancellation fees or late rescheduling fees for people with COVID-19 concerns, just like we do for like extreme weather conditions. Because it is kind of a force of nature. I'm not going to penalize people for that. So we're going to, waive cancellation fees for people so they can pick a date maybe a few weeks in advance or a month in advance that maybe they'll feel more comfortable people coming into their home. That's step one, really. The next thing is if you really have to get the property sold, we started offering what we call our quarantine special, where we'll come and we'll shoot your exteriors and we will edit your interiors. And I've actually got a PDF that I can email to you guys. It's like a 12-page document that just kind of spells out instructions on how to get higher quality real estate images with this. Because if you're quarantined, you don't want a photographer coming in. Well, maybe we can get the outside. Those exterior images are really important, and we can ensure, maximum quality there. And then with some tips on how to get the best quality out of your phone, you can take some photos of the inside of your house and we'll edit them. So that's our quarantine special. That's another thing that we're doing. In the case where, like, you had a couple listings yesterday that they were both occupied. So for occupied listings, we're doing, we're using hand sanitizers, we're booties on the shoes, careful not to touch anything. No handshakes, no group hugs, nothing like that when we show up if there's someone there. And being conscious of that, of course, we're also counting on people being responsible themselves. It's another important factor. If you are a seller and you live in your house and you potentially have been exposed to the virus, we're going to cross our fingers and hope that you're going to cancel your photo shoot, or at least let us know so we can make proper arrangements. Or you're making sure that you're just not getting exposed at all. So we can maximize everybody's safety. For us as well, we have to be super careful, because if we're going to go from house to house, we need to make sure that we're not getting exposed either. So that's why, like, our own the hygiene with the gloves and the hand sanitizer comes into play. It's really important. Other than that, there's not much else we can do except not do the photo shoot until you guys feel comfortable about it. We'll do a lot of vacant listings. There was one recently we shot, or just this week, actually. It's Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday. It was a vacant property. The homeowners moved into their parents' house and just stayed with them while they sell their house. So they're just not going to be in their house, so they can still have it open for showings and open houses and things. So there's, for every problem, there's an opportunity to find a solution. And in this case, with dealing with the pandemic, we've created a bunch of different options for people to pick. What's your appetite for risk, and how comfortable are you with people coming into the house or not? And then we just kind of pick what's the best option from there.
Yeah.
No, and that's great. And you just give us a great idea of having the seller take their own pictures if they don't feel comfortable with somebody coming in, which is, a lot of people are gonna choose that option, and having the opportunity to edit those pictures and get the best product out there.
And you're being super flexible with people. You're waiving cancellation fees or rescheduling, working around what's obviously a big issue here. So let's say somebody does take you up on the quarantine special. They're going to take the interior shots. You're going to edit them. You're going to take the exterior, high resolution, of course. What about the video inside? What if they're...
Yeah, so, well, you say video, but let's make a distinction right now between videos and virtual tours. So we do a lot of videos and virtual tours, and for me, they're different. I know some people will use those words interchangeably. They'll say virtual tour, but what they're thinking about is like a video, play, pause, and that's it. when we say virtual tour, it is a fully interactive 3D virtual tour. We use a machine to scan the property and create a scale 3D model of it, where you or the buyer can walk through the house as if you were actually there online. So you can walk up and down the stairs, you can look at the crown molding if you care about that sort of thing. You can look at the floors, you know, go around the corners, whatever. It's very engaging for people. So I actually have something, I can show you guys one. You know what? I'm talking about it.
If you could dive into it now, that'd be great.
We'll
All right. All right, we'll jump back here. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention this yet, but we do virtual staging and virtual renovation as well. Like this house was a flip in progress. I did not return to that house and take another photo. With just in editing, we made it look like this.
Wow.
Right?
Look at that.
Before and after. And it looks really real because we use real assets. We use photos of real grass and asphalt and furniture and things. So here's a great example of virtual renovation right here. So this is the inside of that house, same day as this, right? This is what I saw, and then we edited to that. So this is what I saw once I was thinking it was right inside that front door, something like that, or the door was here off to the right, and then
Wow.
virtual renovation. Oh yeah, holes in the walls, carpet, tile, even changed the crappy linoleum thing they rolled out here. A nice real tile, and then, you know, your vanilla virtual staging.
Vanilla.
Yeah, this is great.
Just, you know, some nice furniture dropped in there. Yeah, it really helps to contextualize the space.
And Tom, do you do that per room? Like, do you charge per room, or how does that?
The charge is per photo. So let's go back here. So technically, this would be 2 rooms, right? It'd be like the vestibule and the living room. But we count the whole image as, you know, this is 1 photo and we charge it per photo. So we stage everything that we can see in it.
Okay.
You know, so if for example, the bedroom, like there was a big door here, or it was open to another room that you could see into, it would stage that too, or it would make it look like it was staged. So even if it was just a little tiny sliver, I'm looking through a threshold here on the side of the room, you can still see like, oh, there's a bed set or whatever. We make sure to give you like a complete staging look, you know, so it doesn't look like we randomly just slapped like one sticker in the middle of the room and just called it good.
It looks very real. I've seen some of this work before from other.
Yeah, it's because, I mean, you can zoom way in on these. It's because it really is real. So let's.
Wow. Yeah.
Great quality.
These are real photos, like these shadows. It's because when we have the photos of the furniture, and we'll take photos of furniture sometimes if we need to, we light it in different directions, right? Like you see the source of the light from the window coming through, and you see the shadow. So that's one of the things that makes it look really, really real.
That's great.
Detail again, yeah.
Especially with vacant homes, this is something that, as an alternative, if people don't want to actually stage the home, they could use something like this.
Staging gets expensive very fast, especially if you want to do the whole house. It's
exactly. So it's a good.
Yeah, it's like a second mortgage payment almost. But yeah, virtual staging, it's like a super cheap way of getting that look. And some people worry about misrepresenting the listing. And the way I suggest you think about it is maybe imagine you had the seller was living there and then they moved out, or you had staging for like 3 months and then the contract ended, but you're still in the market. That's basically what people would get, you know, that the space hasn't changed physically. It's just the furniture in it. This, you need a lot of disclosures, not in the firm remarks, not in the agent remarks, not like an attachment.
A different
first sentence on the public remarks for everyone to see. Check out our virtually staged. Yeah, you don't want to get caught saying this is what you'll see when you show up when it's actually that.
So
but all right, let's
sell that home like that, but you virtually stage it.
This particular house was a flip in progress. You know, as agents, I mean, if you're just a general home buyer, you probably wouldn't even know about this, but as agents, you see this all the time. You see an investor or a flipper, maybe they're inexperienced or whatever, but they're a little cash poor at the moment. They've invested all their money in the property and they need to get it sold. So this was a way for them, while they were slowly chipping away at this project for money constraints, we were still able to get it on the market and have buyers come through. And the public remarks are, you know, this is a flip in progress, virtually staged virtual renovation images are for, you know, informational purpose or whatever they said. It's just to show you what it could look like when it's finished.
And I
so
think
anyways,
you're probably going to see a lot more of these. What we're seeing on MLS now is a lot of investors, a lot of flippers. Their funding dried up because of what's happening now, or just like you said, inexperience, or construction just completely got stopped altogether. So we're seeing properties come on the market that are maybe even a third finished to halfway finished. You're probably going to get a lot of requests to shoot properties like this.
Yeah, it's a crying shame.
Okay, so we got the virtual tour going on now. Yep.
Yeah, so we got the virtual tour here. All right, this has always been, I mean, virtual tours have been our bread and butter since day one. I've been doing these for years, even when this first came out, and I had to convince people that this is something that they needed. Like real estate agents were like, I'm good with photos. Like I had to have this whole sales pitch where I had to convince agents that you need this. This is the future. I've been saying it for years. And now that we're dealing with the pandemic, agents are calling me. I'm on all my photographer groups. They're like, oh my God, we have to do more virtual tours, because if you want to actually maintain a quarantine and social distancing, this is the best way to do it. You can make your listing available for showings basically 24/7, but no one has to actually go into the house. They can still experience the space in, you know, context. So what I'm using right now, I'm just using my mouse. I'm on a laptop, so I'm using my trackpad. All you need to know how to use a virtual tour is how to click and drag. That is it. I'm putting my mouse somewhere, I'm clicking and I'm dragging it. All right, level 2, I'm gonna right click and then I can move the dollhouse, but really you only need to know how to click and drag. So this is what we call the 3D dollhouse, which is really interesting in this case because there's so many, like this, you can see the rafters and stuff. It looks a little bit busy, right? So we're not going to spend too much time here. We're just going to, let's just drop in somewhere. Where's the living room? Right here. So I'm just gonna click. And it zooms into the room that you have clicked on. And now clicking and dragging, I'm going to look around. Look at the furniture.
You look at the
Oh, this house does have crown molding. Okay, it's small, but that's all right. All right, let's go into the kitchen. So this isn't your listing as shown by your photographer or your videographer. This is your listing as shown by you, the buyer. You can focus on the details that are most important to you. And oh, look at that, they have a wine cooler. That's cool. I might not have noticed that in just a photo, but now I can kind of click and look around. Let's see, in the dining room, let's give you guys a stairs experience here. Look at this. You can go up the stairs.
And it's fairly
amazing
for anybody to use it, right? Like if it's an older person in their computer.
If you have an internet connection, you can use a virtual tour. The only skills you need is I'm just using my mouse. Like you see this little cursor, it's showing me right where I'm at. You see these little superimposed rings in the floors. Those are little locations where I had the camera physically and it was scanning. So that's where you can move to look around the room.
That's great.
And at any point in time, you can just click on the dollhouse button, fly back out. You can look at the dollhouse by floor. You can zoom in. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. And if you don't like to use your mouse at all, there's a little play button. You just click play and it'll automatically walk you through.
That's great.
Almost like a video, except no music. So seriously, it's doing this automatically right now. You see my cursor in the corner. I'm not moving it. The cool thing about this, actually, the autoplay feature is I can take over at any time. I can say, whoa, hold on. Oops, let's come back right over here. Wow, look at that cabinet. Okay, resume. And then it picks back up to where you left off. So these are really popular. You're looking at this virtual tour. I'll just stop it. On a listing website, which we actually include when you do a virtual tour, so you can have it here and attach it to your MLS listing as well. So it gets syndicated out to those third-party websites so people can actually see your virtual tour. So we're not just giving you the virtual tour, we're giving you all the tools you need to share it. And if you look at the URL up here, you can see this was a layer agent, so they get layer3d.com. You guys are not layer agents, so you get, it would say 3dbrokerage.com is the URL. but the slash the address. So it reads like the listing address. It's not some, you ever have one of those companies that does like virtual tour websites or listing websites, and it's like something.com slash, and then a full alphabet, a length of like letters and numbers.
Click on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you paste it on Facebook. It looks like garbage. Text it or email it. It's like, if you text someone from an iPhone to an Android phone, it breaks in like 3 parts. And no, we don't do that. We just do the listing address for every single listing. It's unique to your property. And the listing address also, I mean, this property has a video, the photo gallery, right? The listing details, agent information. We even have lead capture features on this. Floor plans, if you ordered floor plans. These are really popular because, I mean, between you and us, we can talk about pricing later. We basically give these away. But you see how we got, labels, measurements, everything. So yeah,
So
floor plans is super popular.
I'm sure you're getting a lot more requests for these additional services these days.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because
and virtual tours.
Yeah, because people are restricting access to their listings. They're not doing. I mean, usually, depending on the market area, of course, you'll have people do like deferred showings until after the first open house on the weekend or whatever. But now people aren't really doing open houses. Some are, but people are scaling that way back, and some have been doing virtual open houses. They'll do a coming soon listing, and then when it goes live, we attach the virtual tour and say, check out our virtual tour. If you have an interested buyer, reach out, we'll talk. And then, if they seem really serious, maybe we'll do an in-person showing. But I have clients that have had sight unseen offers thanks to virtual tours, from interstate or international relos. It's not super common, but it happens, and it really helps people at least make that decision. Am I interested in this house for real or not? Sometimes the photos are all you need, but the virtual tour, it's just, it adds that extra layer of I don't know, letting someone really kind of understand the space and get a really good idea of how they could live there too.
Right. No, you get a really good idea. It's pretty clear. I mean, you could go room by room and at your own pace, which is great. So back to the quarantine special. I'm interested in this.
He likes the Excels.
So let's.
Sure.
Are you getting many requests for this?
Not really. Most of our clients are still having us go out and do photo shoots, or they're like just exteriors only. I mean, I'm getting like 1 or 2 a day, maybe, like nothing really crazy. But yeah, I mean, people are still doing it because you do have those situations where you get these sellers at home and they're like, no one's coming in, for all kinds of valid reasons. They don't want to be potentially exposed to a deadly virus. Fine. So for those people, we accommodate for that. Yeah, most of our clients are either deferring the listing and waiting to list, or they're like, I'm listing it, so come and do your thing. So
awesome.
That's what we're finding as well. Right.
Well, this has been super helpful.
Yeah. No, anything else you want to share with us that you're getting from either buyers, sellers, agents?
Well, I mean, I guess on the quarantine special. So, if anyone's watching this and you're a real estate agent, you could reach out to me directly. I'll actually show my website. So
awesome.
It's TV.Photography, not TV.Photography.com. You see it right here, TV.Photography. And then on the menu here, you can access the quarantine special, you can see pricing, and you can book. So the quarantine special, just to show you guys, if you're a real estate agent and you have photos that you need to have done, you can enter your name and upload the photos and pay right here. And for our quarantine special,
share your screen really quick, Tom.
Oh, I stopped sharing? Oops.
Yeah.
I thought I was still sharing. Sorry. My bad. All right. So here's the menu. So you go to quarantine special, and then you can enter your name, your email information, upload your photos, and pay right here. And it's quarantine special is $175.
And that's one thing that I'm going to say is you definitely have it so organized, so simple to book an appointment with you. You make
Yeah, so
this is
this is specifically for quarantine special, just if you have photos to upload too. If you wanted to book a photo shoot with us, go to our booking page and we'll scroll right down to the calendar here. The calendar is here. We can talk about the packages are spelled out on the pricing page. Maybe it's not a good time to talk about it here, but yeah, if you're an agent, you can go right here. You can book appointments right online, right? You pick your day, your time of day. This is tied, all my staff are on the same calendar. So what you see, like a bunch of open days and a bunch of open times. Most of these days should have most of the day open. That's because you're looking at all of the mutual available times between everyone. And then as we start getting booked up, I activate one of our part-timers, throw them on the calendar, and open up even more space in the calendar. So we're able to be super flexible like that. So, pick your day, your time of day, enter your appointment details. We do take a $100 booking fee at the time of booking. You just hit pay with PayPal, submit your credit card. I mean, you could log in or pay with credit card.
Yeah,
when you submit, it takes you back here. It'll show you your card details. It'll show you, this is all my information. You click schedule event and that's it. You see a confirmation page, you get a confirmation email. Actually, that's important. You and I will both get a confirmation email instantly. And if you don't see confirmation, that means there was a problem with the order. Something didn't quite go through for whatever reason.
Your payment, that's what it is.
Yeah,
so
payment or
share your address at the bottom of the video when we post it on Facebook, so people can just go into that and check out your website too.
Yeah, so that's if you're a real estate agent, but I'm assuming that a lot of your guys' viewers are going to be potentially buyers or sellers in your marketplace. So if you're thinking about getting ready to sell your home and you want your house to look like that, call Will. And then he will have us come out. Oh, look at these nice, get some drone photos too.
That's great. That's right. You do drone videos and photos.
Yeah. I didn't even show you guys the video. I guess I could show you real quick here. Can you hear the audio of this as well?
No.
Okay.
That's okay. We get a good idea.
I'll mute it. I edited to music, and I cut on the beat too, so it's not.
Nice.
So it doesn't go against the flow. How do you explain that? When you edit to the music, it just seems a little bit more engaging and interesting.
It does.
It does.
But let's see, let's skip forward. Yeah, and this was drone and interior video, right? So we've got all kinds of nice shots of the house.
That looks amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
so yeah, you guys are going to be getting a couple videos.
Yeah, we're
excited. Our clients are excited too.
So that was awesome, Tom. Thanks for spending time with us. But before we let you go here, Veronica has one super important question for you. We love this question.
Okay.
Well, we always like to close with after everything goes back to normal and you could be out and about, what's the first place that you're going to go to?
Tom.
First place that I'm going to go once the quarantine lifts?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Probably a bar or restaurant or something with my friends, honestly. I mean, actually, you know what? I canceled 2 trips. I was going to Chicago and then I was going to Orlando. So I'd probably rebook those, but I mean, it's whatever. I go.
Do the eat out and do the bars and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm pretty big into the nightlife, so I go out almost. Well, I used to go out almost every day, but
nice.
Not so much these days. Yeah, now it's a lot of Netflix.
I know. Netflix has become our best friend these days.
Yep.
So it sounds like you're going to rebook a trip, either go to Chicago or somewhere.
Probably a couple trip. I have a trip to Nashville still booked for June. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to cancel. I try to travel like 3 or 4 times a year, just because I work 7 days a week usually, and it's
you got to break the routine.
It's almost like kind of mind expanding to just like go to a physically distant place, do something totally unrelated to work, and then come home. And I don't know, it just helps me stay kind of fresh and productive.
Of course. Makes sense.
Appreciate that. Awesome.
All right, great.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for spending time with us, Tom. We're going to
my pleasure
there, and we'll reach out to you as soon as we have another property, hopefully soon.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Thank you, Tom. Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.